Hello, everybody, welcome. Rosa Sunk Investigator, hell, huh. Everybody, welcome. Rosa Sunk Investigator. So, guys, it's November 5th. November 5th, huh? We had a good day yesterday. We had a good day, huh? Yesterday. So, wow, interesting information. No, really. I got somebody is screaming outside, but it's okay. It's good. Guys, what a day it was yesterday. What an insanity. Like, it went through so many emotions. And I made a video during the afternoon when I saw that, there was the bomb threats, and I got scared. I thought, oh my God, they're doing again what they did in 2024. And now I'm remembering even yesterday, I wasn't checking the results because I didn't want to know. This is how bad, right? I didn't want to know because what if, right? It scared me, even though the card said good things, right? But guys, I did two readings about this. One was about what was on the day before what would the election would mean, and it would show that it's exactly what is shown, right? That that's what we really think. That's how the country feels about trash, and without them stealing the elections and changing the numbers, the truth comes out. It's like, oh, what a shocker! Democrats voted, right? But it's not like we didn't vote before. Somebody has to do some research. I'm saying. So, so I find interesting for me. It's interesting for me. So really, it's really a wonderful thing. And I was looking at some numbers, and the numbers were huge. It's even for the governors. Even it was like 20 points difference for the New Jersey and Virginia governors, which is a lot bigger, a lot more than we had thought, right? Even the best case scenario. So it really was a wonderful thing. And then, of course, the mayor won here. But again, I know some people don't like him for some reason. He's not perfect, like nobody is, but he represents what people need. Okay, and really, they wanted to make the whole election about the fact that he's Muslim, but he was the only candidate talking about affordability. Really, that goes to show how out of touch those people are. And you can't win at this point. We're so tired of the whole culture wars thing. It's like life is hard. Life is getting harder for a lot of people. People are without food. He cut the SNAP benefits, right? And God knows, they feel like return, giving it, But if you were Argentina, don't worry, he would have sent it. The money will be in tomorrow, right? Because that's his buddies or whatever. So that's a beautiful thing, and so guys, I wanted to show you. I was surprised. Was I surprised? Yes, I think I was surprised. And because I subscribe to these random newsletters that I rarely even read them, like for political, for example, the news update. So I clicked on it today, and and I was very surprised to see the Republicans. They just when I say people pretend to be crazy, they pretended to be crazy again, right? Like usually they pretend to be crazy, but this is the first time I've seen them talk like normal people because they are normal people. They're just pretending the rest of the time, right? And even Trump and everybody. So it's a strategy. What they're doing to do the crazy stuff is to tire us. And in fact, the opposite happened. We got more and more focused. Okay. So I'm going to read this to you because I find it fascinating how, the whole like, oh, they all do these crazy things, but it's a strategy because they know very well what's going on. Right. So I find it interesting. I find it, and of course, political is a right. You'd say center right and right. Okay. So that I find it interesting. I find it interesting. So this is an email I received. Okay, so here it is. About last night. Oh, here it is. Democrats' dominant performances in last night's elections have left Republicans scrambling to make a sense of what the resounding results may mean for their party, with a few different takeaways permeating from GOP leaders in Washington. The view from 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue. Last night it was, not expected to be a victory, President Trump said at the White House this morning as he convened a private breakfast meeting with Republican senators. But I don't think it was good for Republicans. I'm not sure it was good for anybody. But we had an interesting evening and we learned a lot. The president said the historic government shutdown played a big role in the GOP losses. Like he knows what's going on, right? It just plays the character the rest of the time. But the biggest factor, according to James Blair, the political director for Trump's 2024 presidential campaign in the RNC, was pocketbook issues. Blair, who now serves as White House Deputy Chief of Staff, told Playbook's Dasha Burns in an exclusive interview for The Conversation that Miki Sherrill in New Jersey overwhelmingly focused on cost of living in her campaign messaging, and Republican candidate Jack Ciattarelli didn't do enough to combat that. And in Virginia, Blair said Winsome Earl Sears talked too much about transgender issues. It's not even in the top 5 issues, according to voters. Really? No kidding. Really? As for Zohran Mamdani in New York, Blair commended his messaging discipline. Why did Zohran Mamdani do so well last night? He relentlessly focused on affordability. People talk about communists, they can say all these things, but the fact is, he was talking about the cost of living. Really, exactly. He was talking about the cost of living. Okay. In light of all that, Blair told Dasha that he expects Trump will have a laser focus in the next year's midterms. I think you see that the president talk a lot about cost of living as we turn the year and into the new year. Blair said in the interview, the president is very keyed into what's going on, and he recognizes, like anybody, that it takes time to do an economic turnaround, but all the fundamentals are there. And I think you'll see him be very, very focused on prices of cost of living. Oh, really? Oh, that's right. That's why he's cutting your food stamps and your health care. Okay. And it's like, of course, they always like put down the Democrats. But anyway, so here's the night Democrats finally stopped losing by Political's Jonathan Martin. If the message was in the margins, there was no mystery in the why. Voters are again unhappy with the political status quo and again faults a White House they see as unfocused on their priorities. And Trump isn't just failing to address the cost of living. Many voters see him as abusing his power. No, no, you don't say. You don't say. Right. The View from the Hill. Republican leaders at the Capitol this morning sought to downplay the election results and wave them off as outcomes that there were already baked in. Though Senate Majority Leader John Thune acknowledged that we lost by more than we should have. Oh, no, really. He noted that they were pretty much as expected. Meanwhile, Speaker Mike Johnson searched for more distance. I don't think the loss last night was any reflection about Republicans at all. No, no. Was press no and then, but no, it has nothing to do with no. What are you talking about? Right? It's like GOP's. It's like the lie is unreal. Okay. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Okay. So this, guys, it's funny. Here is Steve Bannon. Now I know it sounds crazy. I was talking about Steve Bannon before. And because I think he's the one against the tech bros. I'm not saying that, Steve Bannon, he's a man I can trust. He cares about, he does not. But he has this like, it's interesting, he has this, at least he knows what's going on. And I think he has at least some acknowledgement of what voters are like, because I think the tech bros, they have no understanding of humanity. I'm serious. They think, oh, AI is going to solve humanity. Oh, yeah, it's going to solve the problem of humanity. Finally, we could just, put them away. They just think too much. They don't have, like, now we don't need them anymore. So AI is here, right? Sorry, it doesn't work. Okay. Okay, so in an exclusive interview with Political's Megan Masserly, Trump's former White House strategist Steve Bannon issued a stark warning to his fellow Republicans that Mamdani's election as New York City's first Democratic Socialist mayor should be a wake-up call to the party, though many in the GOP have celebrated Mamdani's win as a way for them to vilify Democratic candidates. Ahead of the midterms, Bannon said Republicans should be concerned about the growing anti-establishment force on the left. Oh, oh, and it was like, Bannon continued hammering home his point on the war room show today, specifically calling out the blue state excuse that Republicans are pointing to, which is he said is not going to hack it. Modern politics now is about engaging low propensity voters, and they clearly turned them out. And this is the kind of the Trump model. This is very serious. Right. Right on. Right on. I agree with Steve Bannon. No, really, I am, because he's telling this is true, all true. So let us say. So okay. So let's go. Let's go to now specifically addressing these topics. So let's start here with the questions. Guys, it's one of those that I've already read the news. Okay. And now I am going to ask specific questions, right? Even though I change sometimes, but let's go. So as I was typing, I was thinking, getting ready to ask the questions. I felt the presence of Dr. King. So let's do the protection. I'd like to ask for protection, a beautiful ray of light coming on top of my head as I breathe in. I feel my lungs. As I breathe out, I create a circle. I create a circle. I step into it. I step into it. I feel protected. I feel connected. I like to ask that information come only from the highest sources that it create the good and only the good, and so it is. So as I'm not sad, okay, but sometimes it's emotional when I get informations. So okay, so I feel already. Dr. King says that, Rosie, when I said I've been to the mountaintop, he's saying that that's what I meant, that you can only focus on the things that are the holiest, right? You can only believe those things that are in the mountaintop, because that's where it came. I pursued my path from the Word of God. I saw myself in the Word of God, which is the Bible. But I must say, you don't have to be Christian, right? It could be any spiritual book. And he believed it. And I made change through faith because I truly believed the things that I read. And there was no real reason for us to be oppressed. So I pushed forward. I kept walking in the path of God, because that is the only path that really exists, because the humans are um how do you say, like a, not faulty, but what is the word here? It's imperfect, or almost by definition imperfect. And they were telling us that we couldn't do simple things. But I read the Bible and I saw what the Bible said. And I saw myself in the words of God. And that's what I want you to continue to believe. Why can't you have health insurance? Why is it okay for Orange Man to steal the benefits? Because St. Rosie, that is what he's doing. He's stealing the benefits. He's not just not giving them, he is creating accounts for him, his friends, his buddies. And it's saying that is the Lucifer creature. Okay. Because he wants to do the bad things. He wants to confirm to himself that he can do the bad things, and he continues to do the bad things because he doesn't believe it, that there is a greater God looking out for us. But there is. And it's saying humanity's task at this moment is to awaken the power within, to speak, to use our voices, because we have rights this whole time. And I know, Rose, you worry a lot about this also, the AI thing. You know what it is? Technology is very advanced, yes, but they are using this advancement in technology as an excuse to try to oppress people and to say that people have no rights, they have no voice, now everything is AI. That's their dream, the Luciferian dream, that they are using technology as a tool for the devil. Like I sound like a preacher, but really, Rosie, I was a preacher. That's why you sound like a preacher. I'm sorry, I had to correct you. Go ahead. Okay. So That's right. They're using the AI to excuse the words of the devil. That's right. But it's great that you can use technology, but never ever forget to ask yourself the voice within, the conscience within. Does it feel right? Because to live in a world where it's okay to create pain, to oppress people, to lie, that's not the world that God wanted. So that is the respite. I know a lot of you have been praying. A lot of you have been asking for relief. And you brought the relief upon yourselves because you fought for it. You spoke for it and you believed it. So that's right. So what about us here, Dr. King? What do we do now? Celebrate, and never forget to look and to step into your power and to assert the things that you believe to be true because they rhyme with the highest vibration, the highest divinity. And these are your rights. You don't have to be oppressed. What you can't do is to accept their falseness, their false prophet, false profiteering, you see, as truth, because you could see, and you just read it today, that the orange man lies. He knows what's right or wrong, but he pretends to be crazy just so he can get away with things. We know exactly what's going on. And yeah, the other devil man, Steve Bannon, he doesn't like it because he knows that they have sold their so-called movements to the tech bros, and the tech bros are fighting for their own slice of the pie, their own slice of the devil pie. That's what they're doing. But right now, right here, we have to ask ourselves. We have to ask ourselves: is that something that God would approve? No, it's not. So don't listen to them. Never. Always ask yourself. It's the time of the great clouding. So this is a test for people to have faith, to start to listen to the voice within themselves and to trust it and to step into it because things come true. These things happen. When you believe it, you can move mountains. That's right. That's what the Bible said. Why do you know it, Rosie? You did it. Sometimes we do crazy things, but it's because it's the conscience that is telling us that we could do it. And we change things when we do that. So, wow, that's beautiful, Dr. King. So, okay, so then saying, Mom, Donnie, so what? He's not Christian, doesn't matter. The point is, he is standing up for the things that he believes in from his own book, right? Whatever the religion, doesn't make sense. It's saying that we all have so much in common. And it's very heartwarming to see that a lot of younger people too are seeing that it's not about separation, it's about similarities. And that we can change for the better together. We don't have to put one against the other. So that's good, right? And it's saying, oh, poor, look at them, poor people. He's mocking the Bill Ackman's, other people that were attacking the Democrats, especially Mondani, is saying, oh, look at him, oh, poor thing. He realizes he's not God. Oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, oh no, that's right. That his voice is not louder, like is louder because he bought it. He bought the megaphones. But everybody has a voice. And he understood, they all understood the message right, loud and clear, that we're listening to them and we know exactly what they've been up to. So the way forward, it's so again to stand up for the things you deserve. Don't compromise. Okay, and he's saying that's right. Wow. He's saying, because I said something about justice, and I'm seeing here that he's showing me that justice in a way is the works of God in the human realm. But it's not happening, right? Because justice happens so rarely, it feels like. Because it's saying, look at those people. They walk around with their Bibles and they claim to be Christian. But in reality, they're not living by the Bible. They're living by the book. It's saying that they're using the Bible to promote their own selfish agendas, their own business and personal interests, and they use the Bible as an excuse. But we're seeing it over here. We see what they're doing, and voters increasingly see it too. because they don't care about the common person. And the fact that it just occurred to them now that saying transgender or whatever, what was the other thing? The religion of this, it's like there's somebody who's talking about things I go through. And that's why the message resonated, and that's why people voted for one candidate over the other. So that's right. That's right. That's right. So this bubble has been popped, and all the now their masks have dropped, and we see what they've been up to, and are going to start to lose steam already, Rosie, because they're not they're up to no good, and the darkness is losing power. But we had to get to this point so that every single person out there, every single person who's watching, may understand that even if they feel lowly about themselves, they have power, and they can exercise their power through their voice, through their prayers, through the things they feed their minds with. And it's time for nobody to be afraid. It's time for us to step into the light together and get to this new world. Wow, that was very profound, Dr. King. So tell us anything else. You don't have to read more, Rosie. Read more news. No, you read enough today, like about this, right? That's right. That's right. So just keep imagining the things that you know to be true. That the truth about the elections becoming fair, and people going to jail for meddling with the elections. Even though it's not quite here yet, it will be if you affirm it so, if you voice it so. And that's important, right? Because at this day and age, voting is a human right. And they're trying to take that out from us, take that away from us. So wow, so very interesting. Wow, wow. Mm. What else, Dr. King? You see, send a kiss to the car. You see, like this. Everybody. So we come together. It works because one day that it's very hard to keep lying over and over again. It takes a lot of work. It takes a lot of planning to lie. They have to rehearse it. They have to plan, and they start to slip because it's exhausting. It takes more and more effort to keep up with the lie. So now we're seeing that they're going to start slipping, and they don't have enough strength because the light is taking over. It really is. So it's important. It is a very painful time, but it's important that we see it so that we see their agenda. We see what they're up to. And look at them. They knew that people were suffering. They knew that people were losing their benefits. And that many people, millions of people, could be starving right now as we speak. They didn't care. They didn't care at all. They thought it was interesting. Now that they have lost, they're starting to think about it. Wow. Hmm. God is watching. That's what he's saying. So, oh, this is beautiful. So, anything else, Dr. Just keep the faith, Rosie. Keep the faith. And go, okay, go and then talk about the other thing. So, guys, by the way, the other thing is that I'm going to make a separate video about this. These airplane things, unfortunately, it does seem like that Contreras is behind, could be behind it, I think, because you know how they have blown up cargo planes in Lithuania and other places. So I don't think it's a coincidence, right? That on the day of election, we had a plane that was grounded. That was I think it was going to Houston, and then there was one in Kentucky that blew up. UPS. God bless the victims. Okay, and their families. And it's serious. It's terrorism. That's what it is, right? That's what it is. So, and he's saying, Dr. King is saying, yes, it will be recognized as such in not in due time, in no time. Like soon, he thinks there will be arrests and it will be recognized as such. And he's showing me Elon Musk. I'm like, Elon, it's saying he made his bed. He made his bed. Don't feel bad for him. You see, interesting. So, okay, all right, all right. So, okay, so all right. So I'm gonna go for now. But it was nice to chat with you, and I'll come back soon. Okay. Okay. Bye bye. Bye, guys.